Hey y'all, this is Joe from St. Bernard Acres, and I've got a project for today. It's very hot. It's going to be raining most of the day. So what I'm going to do is convert my Echo SRM-210 Weed Eater over to a brush cutter. I bought the kit to change everything over, and I bought one of these blades, Renegade Blade, carbide tipped. It looks nasty. So I'm going to be putting that on my weed eater so I can go out to St. Bernard Acres. It's supposed to be really nice this coming weekend, and Friday. I'll be heading out there, and I've got to get all the barn clean, all the way around the barn. It's gotten totally out of hand, and the regular weed eater won't do it. So I'm going to try this out and see how this thing works, and I'll show you, what I got to go through to convert it over. I've never done this before, but I may as well let you watch me. This kit, I'll put a link in the description where I bought both this kit and the blade. You can get this with a steel blade that comes in it, or without the blade. I bought it without the blade because I bought this. This was a much better blade than just a plain steel one. So I figured I'd try this. You can buy this in a 2-pack. I got the one to try it out. In the box, you're going to get the instructions, of course. I don't know if they're legible or not. A bag with various adapters, various screws, depending on what model of Echo Weed Eater you have. A new debris shield. These two different handles, depending on whether you're right-handed or left-handed, to help you control this, because evidently it puts out some serious force. Let's see, well, it's two different. My handle has 4 screws in it, so obviously I'll be using this one. And a harness and shoulder strap to help hold it up. So I think also in the bag you need a Torx driver, and in the bag, if I take this, open up this bag, they give you an Allen. That's a Torx driver. I think it's a 25 is what you need. So that was nice of them. That's the clip that has to go on it for the harness. I don't think I need all of that, but a whole packet of screws and nuts. Oh, and a bunch of cotter pins. Alright. So I'm sure I'll be using all of that as we go along. New bolts for the handle, or nuts for the handle. I'll be darned. So, a bushing, because there's 2 different sizes shafts that you got to deal with. So let me read the instructions, and I'll be back when I start taking the weed eater apart. Alright, so the first thing I did, I didn't show it, I put this on for the shoulder harness to clip onto. And whether I use the brush cutter or the blade, the weed eater string, this is going to come in handy because this is not a light weed eater. So I like having this just to help hold it up anyway. Now I'm going to put the new handle on, and I have to think it's going to go, for me it's going to go this way, this extra bar, to help hold it because I am right-handed. I will control this with this end with my right hand. Down here I'll use my left hand to hold this. And it helps steady it. So let me take this old one off. I'm going to put these little nuts in here. Ah, they're good and tight. That's good. They're not going to fall out on me when I turn this upside down. This I'm going to mount like so, and then put the handle back over the top of it. One thing I wanted to mention while I'm doing this, tell you how funny YouTube is getting. I had some videos I put up that dealt with, you know, shooting and knives and demonstrations and stuff like that. But I knew they were all not monetized. They weren't going to monetize them. And I accepted that. They were still fun videos that I left up there for people to enjoy. And the other day, oops, I noticed they were all missing. They were all deleted, including the video that I was doing the knife giveaway on. So I don't know what is going on. YouTube said, when I inquired about it, somebody complained about them. And that not only could I not monetize them, but I didn't need to have those on my channel, I guess. That was their opinion. I don't know what's going on. Because I didn't even request a manual review. Because I really didn't care. I wasn't worried about the money part of it. But I have to notice about 10 of my videos are missing. And it's all the ones that dealt with guns and shooting. And bushcraft knives, you know, things like that. So there's still a couple there, but I have a feeling eventually those will also get taken down, deemed inappropriate. Alright, so now let's work on this end of it, the business end. Well, first I have to disassemble everything. So, in order to get this off, there is a slot right here that you can line up with a hole in there, like so, and that will keep that. I just got a Torx driver here, and I can turn this. There's a left-handed thread, I think, that goes the opposite way. So I have to take this off, my string head. That comes out like so. Now I've got to get this out of here. Well, this adapter I can take off. Well, one thing, it'll let me clear out a lot of debris out of here. I take this one off. Now I have to take this little triangle piece out. That's with a Phillips head. again, now I have the opportunity to clean a lot of this stuff out. Look at all that. All grass. So, now I put the new one on, the new shield. That will go on like so. And I have a new triangle piece for it. And they give you new screws if you need the long ones for different models. But I can use my original ones. I do have to use a different triangle piece here because it matches up these slots. This is the old piece. Why I got a new one, I don't know. But this one doesn't have the hole in the side to let me lock it. Oh, yes it does. Sorry, I missed that. So I'm going to replace the new one. I don't know why it's a 20 millimeter. This is a 20 millimeter. Because you have two different sizes. Okay, to show you some of the mistakes you can make. This I had on upside down. That has to go like so. Duh. Now this will slide on there. That came with the blade. So that's going to go on. Now my blade can go on. And I know I turn this way. The blade will go on like so. Now, let's see if we put this on here. Like so. Yes. Then, the nut will go on there. It will hold it all together. Oh, it's reverse threaded. So, after experimenting, I realized I do have the blade on backwards. It's very important how you do this. So let me switch the blade around, because that is the direction it's going to cut. I'm doing this upside down, which is why it seemed backwards. Now I'll put the nut back on. And I will get an 11/16 socket. If I had my chainsaw tool, it would work also. Let me find my... Okay. Let me get in there where I can stop it. Tighten this thing down really good. And now I have a brush cutter. Like so. And maybe if I pull this, I'm not going to try to start it. No, thought it might engage. But I know it runs that way, it goes opposite of the bolt. So this side's going to cut, it'll cut into all of the brush. Now, they do say if you're going in, because it'll cut down saplings, you know, that big around, an inch, inch and a half around. If you're going to be cutting like that, you use from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock and swipe it that way, not from 12 o'clock to this side, because this will bounce it out of it and you'll lose control. This digs in as you're going across it. So try to remember, if it's regular brush and weeds and stuff, I don't think it matters, but if you're going after saplings or something that, you know, will have a bite, you're going to have to go from this side. But that's it. That's my Echo brush cutter now, and I'm kind of anxious to use it. I think that's going to be pretty cool. We'll find out this weekend, and I will let you know how this works out. Then I have to remember I'm going to have to get some kind of a case or something to put the extra part, the other parts in, for when I want to change it back to a string trimmer, because I don't need that to do around the you know, the yard and the fence and stuff like that. So when I'm finished with it after the weekend, I'll bring it home. I'll take this blade assembly off of it, put the other one back on. And I think after doing it 2 or 3 times, it's going to be a piece of cake. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you see how it's okay to make mistakes, and you have to think about stuff, you know, and I have to put it on and take it off and try different things. The instructions are ridiculous. They tell you nothing. Because this kit doesn't even say it'll do an SRM-210. Obviously it does, and they've got screws and stuff that fit it, but you know what, there's one more thing. One more thing you should always do, and I'm glad I saw this. That's why they give you the extra cotter pins. Put that cotter pin in there, bend it back, and that will keep that blade from accidentally slipping off if the nut works free or whatever. Always use that cotter pin. They give you extras, and if you run out of extras, depending on how often you change it, you don't reuse this once you pull it out. I guess you could, but if they don't break off, you can buy them anywhere. Any hardware store has them. So that's it. I now have an Echo brush cutter, and we'll go out this weekend and see how my carbide tip blade does. Man, it is sharp. That ought to take everything down. But this is Joe from St. Bernard Acres. I'm out.